All right. Welcome back to Bridging the Gap. We're here with Bishop Dickerson from the Christian Shelter.
Yes, sir.
Bishop?
Thank you for having me, sir.
Yes, this time I get to interview you.
Yes.
Got an opportunity to take part in the conversation on the bench with Bishop Dickerson, and why don't you talk a little bit about that?
Well, this is something new, a new initiative that we started because we're a member of the Citygate Network. So, being that we were part of the Citygate Network, it's a nationwide initiative called Conversation on the Bench, held October the 9th and the 10th. And this past 9th and 10th, we had the opportunity to sit on the bench. 24 hours to sit on the bench to basically to bring aware to homelessness. Homelessness is a serious problem, and I think that we're putting homelessness on the back burner.
Yeah.
This is just my opinion, but we're not serious about homelessness. I think we can do more about homelessness. So I thought I took it upon myself to sit upon the bench to interview several officials of the city. I had the chance to interview the mayor. I had the chance to interview Councilwoman April Jackson. I had the opportunity to interview Delegate Cherie Hughes Sample Hughes. Amen. I was able to interview them, and they gave us some good observations of what they feel about homelessness. And I also had to interview you and your wife, which was a wonderful experience. Both of my daughters were on, and they did it. Well, listen, they did a phenomenal job. So they have a lot to offer. And then we had then on Friday, Sister Mary interviewed some of our guests, and so some of the things that I experienced in the middle of the night, I was cold, I was lonely, I was shaken, I was literally in pain. And this is just 24 hours. So you can imagine what someone that has to spend the night every night under the bridge, trying to make ends meet, trying to keep warm, and so forth. And so the takeaway that I got from it, it was a life-changing experience. It changed my whole perception about homelessness. And it makes me want to advocate for the homeless even on a greater level than I'm doing now. I thought I was doing something as executive director of the Christian Shelter, but I got fight in me, and I'm going to help make some things happen in our community.
And I do appreciate the burden and just the drive you have for the lost. I was just talking to you before we went on the air, and you've been in ministry since you were 16.
16, yeah.
So loving people, this didn't just happen.
No.
You know, and, you know, for you to actually just extend yourself to that next, because it's easy for you as the director to say, hey, can you go out there? But you went out there yourself.
Yes,
and I applaud you. And, your daughters, man, they had that same passion. That's just, the fruit don't fall too far from the tree there, you know. While I was out there talking to you, a couple of things you brought up that really stuck with me. And one of them is the fact of there's not enough being done, you know.
No.
You know, can you kind of elaborate on that?
What we have ahead of us is a community issue, and it's going to take a whole village to resolve problems. And I think we could come together and create a greater impact, and just us by doing things separately. You know, I think on this one. The city and the county should come together. No man is an island, and no man stands alone. And so we ought to come together and tackle this monster, because, you know, as I say, we can do it better when we do it together. We got to do it together. We've got to. If we can come together and get these landlords to put a cap on their rental properties, I think, you know, I do understand, and I hope they're listening to me. I understand Mr. Mayor, and I understand Mr. John, that you guys are landlords. Why don't you guys take the lead role? Take the lead role in lowering these prices and not create a monster of rental properties where our people cannot afford it. They have to make 3 times the rate that they live in. Nobody is hiring on that level unless you have a degree, a master's or a doctorate. And then I understand you have your trades, but sometimes your trades don't even pay that much. Come on, guys, get together, talk. Says, hey, look, what can we do to take the lead role? Yeah, and I'm saying this in love. I'm not saying this out of anger. I'm not saying this out of anger. I want you to hear my heart, and I hope you hear this. We can do more. We can do more if we just come together and tackle these community problems.
Now, you mentioned Mayor Randy Taylor, right?
Yes, sir.
Now, you say John, you're talking about
John Cannon,
the council president, the county council president, which both of them are in real estate. And I was thinking about this, and at least in one other elected official, maybe while we're working on this, because it's not going to just be this setting, we're going to try to reach out. Well, the name of this show is Bridging the Gap. And that's what we want to do. We embrace that gap. And we want to get these people on here. And it's not to embarrass anybody. It's to work towards a solution. We are stronger together, and I always like to say that you can't spell community without unity. So these are some really things that are going on that we definitely want to kind of tackle. My wife and I, we do some volunteering over at the Christian Shelter, and we notice that homeless is not just those that are upper in age or, people or families falling bad. There's a young man there. I'm not saying any names, but he's a college kid actually.
Right, absolutely. Absolutely.
He's actually trying to he's going to be getting deployed to go off to the Marine Corps, but in the meantime, he can't pay for rent. He's at the Christian Shelter because of this. And, that is definitely a concern. Now, speaking to some of the elected officials, which we're starting off our little series here with an elected official, which this one actually already has a burden. But talking to the elected officials, did you feel like it was what you were saying was going on deaf ears? Were they really listening?
I think for I can't answer it wholeheartedly, but I think a couple of them, they have the heart of the community. They have the heart of the community.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. A couple of them that I talked to, they have and again, they can't do it by themselves.
No.
It's going to take a joint effort.
Sure.
To make things happen, and I think we can tackle this monster. I think. I know they're having a big discrepancy about should they have rails where the guests sleep under the bridge. And so the thing is, the answer, the thing that I say, do you care about people? Do you really care about people? If you don't care about people, because it's only a one step away from being in the water. Come on, listen, let me tell you something. The city finds money for everything else. And they can find money to put a rail around there so our families can be safe. Come on.
I agree with you.
They find money for everything else that they want to do.
And I also believe that if they really want to find a solution to the rental problem, everybody says there's a rental problem.
Right.
But I don't hear too many people talking about a solution to this.
Right.
So if they really wanted to solve it, would they? I heard someone say at the last council meeting, the county council meeting, people were out there, they were outraged by 287G, they were outraged by different things. This one guy just stood at the door, never sat down, and then towards the end, he never went up to the podium. He just said a simple question. He looked at the council and said, "Do you care?" I mean, we hear people out here talking, but do you really care?
Yeah.
Because the thing is, if they don't care, then they're not going to respond.
No.
My concern is when we're talking about the fact of those that are without homes, I'm wondering, do a lot of these elected officials care because they think that they don't vote?
before I tackle that, I remember I looked at a TV show. I don't know the name of it, but it was about a landlord. He had all these slum houses, and they took him to court, and they won. They had, and there was in his house. It was all kinds of rats, roaches, and in the city they got rats as big as cats, and so he was sentenced. To live in one of his houses. That was the sentence. The sentence was for him to live in, and he could not live in his own house.
Wow.
And it was a life-changing experience.
Wow. And I want to, we're going to go to our next segment and bring Council Lady Jackson in, but I want to say this because, now to God be the glory, my wife and I, we own a house, but there was a time in my life up until maybe 2 years ago that I rented.
Yeah.
And I remember renting from one very well-known, I'm not going to say their name, landlord here that has 700 plus properties, probably nationwide. And, the smell of the roaches, you could actually smell, there were so many roaches in that apartment building.
Wow.
You could smell it. Now maybe that apartment, then when I first rented, I didn't see any because they probably sprayed. But within weeks, they were back there. But yet, soon as the rent was due, if you're about a week or two over, you had a little slip on the door. But they never took care of the problem. The question is, do they have when one person leaves, do they actually take care of these properties? Do they paint it? Do they take care of the maintenance of it? Because the rent doesn't change. There's people getting one-bedroom houses. How much are they paying now? You said some of them about up to $1,000?
Yeah, probably about $1,300 for a one-bedroom.
And the question is it based upon the quality of the house? Because if it was like this one is, and again, we're talking about a landlord that has multiple places. And you can always tell by one person's house how their life is. So how about that landlord? If one apartment or many apartments, because it's not just that one apartment that was like that. At that time I didn't have the money to have too many different options, such as a lot of people are, But you could tell because there are certain landlords that when you mention their name, somebody already tell you about their reputation. But yet their prices of their apartments does not reflect the environment,
Right. And their houses are probably built in 1946.
Still got lead.
And they're just patching it up, just to approve the housing laws and policies. Come on, man. We got to do better, Salisbury. We got to do better because I'm gonna tell you why we have to do better. Because one day you're going to die. And you're going to have to stand before a just God. And he's going to judge you according to your works.
So true.
Including how you treat people. Okay? So you just the thing is, you may be having a time now. And you may be having your day now. But one day, we're coming to your funeral. Yeah? Yeah. So you got to be careful how you treat people. Because you never know. My grandmother said you never know who you need when you leave this world. Yeah.
I love the boldness that you have.
Yeah.
I love that. I love that. We're going to go to a break, and when we come back, we're going to have Council Lady Jackson. And don't think she's going to take any slack on you either. Stay tuned. This is Bridging the Gap.